Hey everybody, Bill Vencil from Chords of Orion here. So I was walking through the woods the other day, taking a little hike. I came across a babbling brook, a small stream. It was making some very pleasant sounds. I had an epiphany. I thought, man, maybe if I get a recording of this, I can turn it into an ambient soundscape. So I grabbed my iPhone and set it down on a rock and recorded some of the stream. So let's take a few minutes and see how it all worked out. So here's Logic Pro 10 with the recording loaded of the stream. Let's take a quick listen to it. Oops. Here we go. All right. Sounds a lot like a stream. So what I did from there is begin to layer in some effects to turn it into the ambient soundscape I was looking for. First effect up is the Izotope Alloy 2, mostly using that as a limiter, so you could actually use the Logic Pro 10 limiter effect. I also really like the Waves automatic double tracking plugin. You've probably seen me use that on prior videos. I threw that in for a little bit of a stereo effect. So there you go. Next, I add a little delay designer, and I use the bird twirl preset. So let's listen to that for a moment. You can hear when I stop the audio, there's a little bit of a delay going on. So it's not real long, but it's enough to kind of fill out the sound. All right, now for some magic. One of my favorite plugins, the Space Designer. I started with the Sphere preset, but I made some changes. I switched the impulse to the Drone Tone 46 that comes with Logic, and I set the sample rate down to 1/4 to slow it down. I also adjusted the volume envelope, the filter envelope, and the EQ just a bit. So let's listen to what that sounds like. Oh yeah, and I also brought the reverb level all the way up and brought the dry level almost all the way down. So let's go ahead and listen to that. All right, we're getting a little droney, a little ambient sounding here. By the way, that pitch that you're hearing is based around B flat. Next, I added in a mix bus for the channel. I could have added all these additional effects onto the channel, but I decided to create a bus so I could be a little more flexible and maybe use it for some other tracks. So first up is some EQ. What I do is just knock out some of the low end here. Then some pitch shifting. Basically, I'm adding in a pitch an octave above, 12 semitones up, with a 50-50 mix. So let's listen to that. All right, pretty good there. Next is the Silververb reverb. And let me just pull this up, take a peek at that. We've got a 17 millisecond pre-delay, a lot of reflectivity going on, room size and density all the way up, a little bit of a low cut, some high cut, and a little bit of a modulation thing going on, and a high mix level, 80%. So let's listen to that. Let's turn it on and listen to it. Sorry about that. All right, good old Silververb is really kind of pushing the envelope a little bit, really smearing things together nicely. There's quite a bit of a reverb tail. Next up is a compressor, and I'm mostly using this just to raise the overall level. You can see the attack time, the release time there listed, 4.8 ratio, compressor threshold. You'll want to adjust this to your particular audio gain, and then the threshold of the limiter is 0. Let's listen to that. It's mostly to raise the level of the audio. So quite a bit louder. Next in line is another instance of Silververb. And I've pretty much created the same settings. So it's really reverb, compressor, and then reverb again. Let's listen to that. All right, quite a bit of reverb tail there. Final thing in the effects chain is an EQ, again, just to roll off some low end. As a matter of fact, I used the telephone EQ preset and just modified it slightly. Here we go. All right, that sounds really great. Again, the pitch that you're hearing is based around B flat. So what I'm going to do now is pick up my Carvin Fatboy guitar and play a little ambient guitar, if you will, against that soundscape, just so you can hear it. What I'm using on the guitar is the 11 rack amp modeling unit that I always use. I'm also using the Strymon Timeline, and it's set to the out-of-the-box mirror preset. And then, of course, I'm using a volume pedal. Let's go ahead and listen to that for just a moment as I play. There you have it. Take an outdoor natural sound and turn it into an ambient soundscape using plugins from Logic Pro 10. Hopefully you found this interesting and helpful, and I will see you all on the next video.